Okay, I normally would probably like try to film this a different way, but I just don't care this time. Like, I just don't. I mean for this to turn into this, but when spirit speaks, he speaks. Okay. So, in this new era wave of like meeting people, vibing with people, and because I'm back out there, yay! I'm learning a lot from dating, and I'm not so I don't really want this to be like about relationships, but it's about relationships, if that makes sense. Um, but just like a more so a school of thought, and hopefully I don't poke myself in the face with these turnouts. um, yeah. So, and like, let me know if you're part of this. I'm really like, I feel like I'm starting to find my vibe tribe a little bit more. So, comment vibe tribe if you in the fields with it too. As I'm meeting people and vibing with people, and hmm, I'm not quick to rush into a relationship until I know. That's just facts. And I think there's like what I'm realizing is that I am so grateful for my relationships in the past, because especially one in particular, because it really taught me to stand my ground, and when I do not feel comfortable, do not move forward. And really being in touch with the God light inside of me, and the guidance, Holy Spirit inside of me, because it's like I'll know when I know, and until I know, I'm not gonna go. Like, I'm not gonna move forward, just because I think so many of us and sometimes move forward on things when we're operating from a place of it looks right. We can make, if it doesn't fit perfectly, we can make it fit. Because of this new narrative of like really taking a control of your life, and unfortunately almost blasphemically being God over your life. I mean, the thing is, you're supposed to partner with God. It's a two-way street, but I'm not gonna go into that so much. But it's like, when you submit to like, okay, I want to be on one court with you because I know you have the best plans for me. And when you really, and I feel like this, I don't want this to be about submission either, but we're going to hit on it. When you really truly know the heart of God, and like, and you're really in touch with the God that lives in you, because we all have a piece of that light in us. It is up to us to cultivate it, grow it, and know it. But when you're in touch with that, it's gonna recognize the things that aligns with what is divinely altered for you. It's gonna be like the sense of a knowing, like it's like the same flower. I said this in another tea for the week, but the same flower that's being watered here in someone else, or you see it recognizes its own. Gang recognized gang. It knows its own. So when it's like, oh, that resonates with the piece of light that's in me, that's the same light spectrum color of mine. Blue knows what blue will know its own. Pinks will know its own. Yellows will know its own. And and got all the colors. You'll know when it's a piece that fits with you. And this is in friendships, relationships, and all ships. But all in all, so I'm not rushing into wanting to form life-altering bonds as the more ignorant version of me in the past did. And honestly, God still got the glory in it. Because there's so many life lessons that I got out of it, and I'm so grateful for. Now, would I go back and do it all again? Probably heck no, not. But and I believe that there's easier ways to learn these lessons. But since I chose the road less traveled, it happened the way it happened, and I'm not gonna regret it. But it is what it is. But there are some things that came out of it, and the things that I went through that I did not have to go through. But with that being said, it's like I'm really at this point where I will not move based off a man's words, based off of flowery words given to me and promises. I'll move when my spirit says it's time, when that knowing, the God light inside of me says it's time. That's the one. And I don't mean like the one, like this is the person that I'm matching you with. You know, this is the friendship I want you to have. This is the job I want you to do. And until then, does that mean I stay stagnant? Oh no, I can't do it. I've done that before, and I don't want to do it anymore. No, I just move to the best of my knowledge, and pray that God gives me grace, and that I'm led by the faith that I have, and do the best I can. Because He gave me a good sound mind, and I trust me, because especially as I get closer and closer and closer to Great Spirit, and also into God, and to also as I learn me, knowing who I am and whose I am, and really cultivating my God light, my relationship with the Holy Spirit. I just know that with that, I'm just at peace with it all. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Let's just say that, okay, and I'll put it this way. I've been blessed with great friends. I've been blessed with a great relationship with myself. That right there. I am literally in love with the relationship that I have with myself, and even more in love with God, Yahweh, because I believe in God. Spirit, Great Spirit, who help foster that, because I know being in love with that portion of myself is me actually internally being in love with Him. So being in love with God. So I mean, and I know this can be like a lot of confusing concepts for some people, but it is amazing. It's amazing, and I'm at such a level of peace that anything that does not align, I don't got time. So and I'm really, I say this often. I say that as I'm meeting people, they're in love with the idea of me. So that means that the flowery words I'm getting, everything, especially when it's soon, like it's like, I mean, even if it's after a little bit of conversation, or significant amount of conversations, because we have not really come into a knowing of each other. Coming into a knowing of each other happens after some time. That's why when you see older couples who are still together, and friendships that are still together, they're like, what do you love about each other and stuff like that. It's usually because y'all been through some stuff, and y'all passed the test of time and life, threw some bombs at you, and you dodged it all and made it out just fine. But and I understand that comes with time, and I understand that that's a constant prove, like, you're proving to each other, I'm here, you're showing. It's like you constantly got to show up. Not say proving, because I don't want you to feel like you got to put somebody on the judging bench every time you're in a relationship, but it's literally like every moment is a life, or it's a testing that relationship. And every moment you get to see, are they for you or not? Are they for you or not? And I'm at the point, this is a good tidbit right here. I'm at the point where I don't live in the past. As in, I take accounts to all the things that someone has done for me. So does that mean that and I'll say this, I have a better relationship with past interactions with people. And what I mean by that is, I didn't mean for this to turn into this, but when Spirit speaks, He speaks. Okay. So what I mean by that is, it's like a bank. I use the past to determine how much I want to loan you. But I understand that you still have a responsibility to show up to pay off that loan. Makes sense? So it's like, it's in the loan is the trust. The trust, not the love I give, because the love is constant. It's like I can love you from here, from there, afar. It's like the love can change faces. I'll leave it at that. It doesn't mean it goes away. It's like an energy. So that means the energy can never be created or destroyed. So, the energy can grow stronger, or it can grow weaker. It doesn't mean it disappears or dissipates. It means that the weaker states may be that I love you from afar. The weaker state means that we no longer interact with each other. The stronger states mean that you my everyday person. Like we chilling often. I talk to you often, you know. Um yeah, but it's like loaning the amount of energy I get to expend on you. It's like, okay, based off of our past history, I get to now, because you're saying that you're requesting that, you want to level up, you want to increase your credit line, you want to ask for a loan, you're like, hey, I need you to go out on a limb and trust me on this one. Okay, based off your past credit history, your deposits and withdrawal history, I think I can do that. Or you want to increase your credit line, like, hey, look, I feel like we can become closer, we've been cool, we've been rocking cool, let's get closer. Okay. And this is not just, like I said, for relationships, it's for friendships, any ship, however you relate to people and whatever they are to you, individually, in groups, and that it is what it is. So I just at that state where it's like, I just have a healthier relationship with how I relate to others. And the past, I look at it as, okay, it's more so like a account receipt of trust. But the thing is, I leave it in the past. So that means if they blow it, if they come in for their credit line increase or their loan, and they just blow it out the water, and I can use that receipt, the past relationships, to be like, or our relationship in the past, our past receipts, to be like, okay, yeah, I'm not lending you nothing ever again. Or it's like, okay, you went back to square one. Or yeah, you gonna have to be kicked out of this bank because no longer. Just depending on what's happened or whatever. Or if they do hit it out the park and it's just like, yeah, you paid it back in full, or you when you asked for the increase of credit line, you kept it. You kept a really good relationship with the increase. You didn't take advantage of it or anything like that. Then yeah, then we can continue on with the new increase, and with the more trust, and go from there. It's just a shift in our relationship. So and I don't stay stuck in it, because it's like, okay, they were that person then, and this is who they are now, because people are ever evolving. The same person that they were yesterday may not be the exact same person they are today. I'm realizing that you have to fall in love with how people evolve. There's typical patterns that an individual may have and how they evolve, but for the most part, like that basic characteristics and stuff, but for the most part, they're not going to be the same person you knew from 5 years ago. Not the exact same. you know yes, there are those relationships where it's like you can keep up, you can catch up, like you never ever lost a track of time. That exists, yes. But you're gonna go in, most of the time when you haven't seen somebody in that long, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if you understand that people can change, you're not gonna go in expecting that doobie you spoke to 5 years ago is the same doobie standing in front of you when he looked different. He's aged. He's got a whole wife and kids now. He's been different jobs later. Y'all aren't the two kids who used to just kick in the back seat or the car, listen to oldies, or whatever y'all used to do. It's like you're gonna be like, if y'all have not talked, you're gonna be like, hey, what you been up to lately? Like, you're gonna get to be, as y'all are talking, you may reminisce about old times, but you're also gonna get a feel for, who is this doobie in front of me now. That's just a name I made up. I don't know who doobie is, but like, who is this doobie in front of me now? You're gonna be, that thought is gonna be in the back of your head, like, is this the same guy that I knew then? Is this the same friend that I knew then? How much has he changed? Like, you're not gonna be looking at, if you're wise, you're not gonna be looking at this person to be the exact same person that you knew back then. I mean, you're gonna be looking for moments that are like memory triggers, or like comfort triggers that you had when you were with them then, but you're not gonna 100% expect that this is that same person, unless y'all had that established base as a baseline. Like, this is a safe place where you can just come in and be this all the time, constantly, and it never changes. Like, unless that is established, most of the time you just are not going to jump in saying get up that you would have 5 years ago if y'all hadn't talked within the 5 years without a valid reason, for y'all not to be talking. So, so yeah, I got a lot healthier with how I deal with people currently, and then how their past, my past relationship with them. So it's kind of helped me really categorize and put into perspective, and not stay hurt or broken by any transgressions that's been done against me. Because it's back then. That was back then. That is back then. So now you have opportunity to show me who you are now. So, and I mean, and it's like I realize that just like I'm on an adventure of me, everybody else is on the adventure of them. So it's kind of like, ooh, new discovery. Who are you today? Who are you an hour from now that you weren't an hour ago? It's like that. So so I've applied that to relationships. Then I also apply the idea of like, my soul knows whose mate it is. It will know, and it will just be a knowing. It's like, I internally, my higher self, my soul knows who its person is, and it will know. It may not be a first sight thing. It may not be at the first date thing. It may not be after first several dates. It might be after a month. It could be a friendship after a year. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not rushing. I don't care. It'll happen when it happens. But until then, I am vibing, meeting people, and loving it. But I just realized that I'm happy that I'm in this more healthier state as I'm being out there, because it is rough out here. It is rough out here. If you do not know how to conduct yourself, it is dog eat dog, and it will eat you alive. Okay. So, but if you do know, and you go in with a certain aura, certain je ne sais quoi, certain stature about yourself, you won't get too much of the bottom barrel. That is often talked about when you're out here dating. But another, or meeting people, because I mean, some of these things can be friendships too. Out here making friends, out here meeting people, it's still kind of form of dating. It's all courtship. You're dating, whether it's you're dating friends, you're dating this, because you're trying to see if this is a lifelong. Are you a lifelong friend? Are you somebody I can keep with? We're always categorizing. Humans, that's what we do. We categorize and file things. We are very complex computer systems, and we have to be able to, like, you go here, you go here, you go here. This is our internal sorting system. But yeah. So I feel like this is more of a ramble, but hopefully this came out to be something valuable. I think it did. But I mean, all in all, yeah, I'm grateful for the state that I'm in, and I'm in all the different nuggets and the more wisdoms I get to pick up along the way and learn and love that I'm learning in the process still, about myself, about how I relate to others, what I tolerate, what I will not tolerate, what I have low tolerance to no tolerance for. And I'm okay. I'm really proud of myself for telling when I need space, being adamant, and being comfortable with saying no. And without, I don't even always have to give reasons behind it. My no is no. And if I want space, I take my space. And if I want to take it slow, I'll take it slow. If that person does not like it, then we weren't meant to be, because the person who is for me we'll have this internal, like, okay, I see what you're asking for. It's like this internal connection and this understanding, and this goes for friendship and whatever else too, that you want a slower pace. I can respect that. It's not going to seem like an insult to them. It's not going to seem like, a rejection to them, because they're going to understand that it's not rejection. It is just me or them being in tune with their higher self, and being vocal and healthily communicating what they need in that moment. And it is not for me to disrupt that experience that they need for themselves in the moment, or that need that needs to be served. You know, I'm here to be their biggest fan in their venture of learning and loving themselves, and their biggest support in that, and vice versa. Like, this is their race they gotta run, just like I'm running my own. And we are each other's biggest fans, support system, and cheerleaders. I can't live the life for them. They can't live mine for me. And it's like, whoever you show up today, I just hope it is the best version of you that you can present today. And that way it makes it easier for me to love. That's kind of what it is. We are all severely flawed. So it's like that's what this thing is. Looking for this perfect person who's just perfect, and like our ideal person. Gotta be realistic about it still, they're still a flawed human being. And then on top of that, being careful with I feel like the whole culture that's out now with protecting your peace comes at a hefty price. I was actually thinking about that one time. I'm like, man, when you really do go for the things you want and your peace and things like that, it costs. And then it's so funny because I was on, like, I think one of the social media platforms, I can't remember which one, and a video popped up and it was like, peace costs. I'm like, and then he went in, I was like, yeah, peace. And I was like, dang, I just thought that. But yeah, it's so true. Peace will cost you. And I'm gonna be completely honest, the price is so hefty at first, but the investment, you have to think about your peace as an investment, because once you do invest, and the benefits, the interest that comes with it is so far, like, monumentous and beneficial, and that is worth it. It's worth the hefty price. Like, I've lost people for my peace. I have lost a serious relationship for my peace. And you know what? And in the beginning, it was not easy to lose it. No, it wasn't. But I'll be completely honest with you. I came out better for it. I did. I'm a better me for it. Um, but but it is that fine balance of, like, are we cutting off everything? And then it's like, for the name of peace, like, we get the ick so quick for peace. And it's like, we have to understand that, we're still dealing with human beings, you know? So I'm not saying you got to deal with everything and anything. Definitely not. Never that. But when you're truly going for your peace, you will know that you're paying a cost as an investment. It will feel like more of an investment. It's like, okay, letting this go will benefit whatever it turns into later. Whatever I get out of it later, whatever you get out of it later. Or not dealing with it or whatever. So yeah, just to be careful with, like, making sure that we're not cutting off the things that are meant for us for the sake of peace. For the sake of peace. I'll say this: you will know, and I'll probably do a whole tea for the week of this, for this one, but I'll just drop this nugget here. You will know if it doesn't align with your peace, if it interrupts you being with your highest self. If it's something you just cutting off for the sake of pettiness, you will know, because it's not gonna serve your highest self. It's just serving your pettiness. Okay. It's like, because if you didn't get a lesson out of it, if you did not learn something by being like, I have to let this go, and it's gonna cost me, but I know the lesson's gonna be so much greater, and you get a good lesson out of it, then you know it was for your peace. If it wasn't like that, that was for your pettiness. But okay. We'll mark it as peace for you and your ego, because a lot of us are serving egos out here. Yeah, I'm coming for people. I don't care. A lot of us are serving our egos out here in a bad way. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, for this to turn into this, but when spirit speaks, he speaks. Okay. So that it's okay to be patient for anything big that you want in your life, and to make sure that if it does not feel like it's fitting right, like if it's like, and like I said, check in with your soul, not with your ego. You got to really understand the difference between the two. Because I feel like some people are claiming their ego as their soul, and it's really not their soul, it's your ego. So I'm not doing tea for the week about that. But checking in when you understand and you know your soul and you're in touch with your God, like you've been cultivating it, the Holy Spirit, whatever your guide, whatever your center is that you call it, and you check in with it and something doesn't sit right with it, or it's not like, it's like you're on a journey, you're looking for something, it's looking for something, you're on a mission and you're looking for that thing that's going to serve that mission and it has not hit, do not settle for something else, because it will literally probably hurt you more than it will help you. And be patient with yourself and be confident that what you desire is there and it's going to come and it's good and perfect timing. And I just wanted to leave anybody who's looking for any type of relationship, any type of connection with someone, or even a connection with something in the sense of like job, money, this, whatever it may be. This is to encourage you to not give up on it, to understand that it's coming, and to do the work within yourself. Because if it hasn't come in yet, that means you have more time to work on you, to prepare the place for when it does come, and to receive it with excellence and humbleness, and to be the best host for it, and receiver of it, and to use it with wisdom when you do have it, like to cherish it and to acknowledge it properly. So use the time to prepare the place for it when it comes and when it gets there. This is that season when it hasn't gotten there yet. It is your season of preparation for it. It is like somebody said, like there's this whole concept of fake it till you make it, be it until you see it. That kind of thing. Pretend like it lives there already and or it's on its way to visit, and you have to make its room ready for it. It has to be perfectly set up. You are preparing for its arrival in excellence. And when it shows up, you show up to it in excellence, and you are an excellent host of it. So yeah, that's to encourage you for that. And do not settle for anything that does not fit that space, that you did not prepare that space for. Because you will find yourself with twinges of regret, not operating as the you that you dreamed to be. Because you're like, oh, this is not what I wanted out of this. So you're not going to enjoy it as much. Because you decided to settle. Leave that room open for the person who's supposed to occupy it. The people, the friend, the whatever it may be, the job, the life, the whatever that's supposed to occupy it. Do not give it away to something that was never meant to sit in that place. And so that is, if you don't get anything else out from this, please get that. Do not give that space away to anything that was not meant for that place, because it will be so underserving and so undeserving of the impact and the negativities that can come with it for you and that person, that job, that relationship, that whatever it may be that you let take up that space. But all in all, my kind of design your own kind of life, and never forget to dream. This was supposed to be a pop one. I might have to edit a lot, but I'll get back to you guys when I do. But I really just wanted to say this because I had this nugget pop into my head, and I wanted to share this with you all. All right, bye.
Yeah, out here in these streets, not in the streets. Streets still got I'm not in the streets, but yeah, I'm getting tired and I lost my train of thought. It's really what this is at this point, and I'm trying not to even make it into rambling because I did not want to just be a rambling video, and it ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But